Welcome back to What If Twins. This is part 2 of What If Naruto was an Uchiha x Namikaze. Let us know if you like. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and we will post more episodes like this and more series.
Chapter 3, A Broken Heart. The sun slowly rised in the sky and brightened the atmosphere with its warmth. The darkness of the night faded with the shiny rays of the sun which spread quickly in all the directions. The sun is a symbol of hope, a symbol of light. It marked the end of despair and the beginning of happiness. In a small room, a blonde-haired boy slept peacefully in his comfortable bed. He had a peaceful smile on his face. He was none other than Naruto Namikaze Uchiha, the son of the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, and Makoto Uchiha. Life had been quite beautiful for this little boy. The 5-year-old little boy heard small footsteps coming towards his way. Even in his half-asleep state he could feel the presence of this person. He didn't know why, but he could always recognize other people near him, even if they were not visible. The person then slowly climbed on his bed and was inching closer to him. Naruto could feel the happiness that this person was radiating. "Here it comes," thought Naruto with a cute smile. "Nii-chan." Naruto's ears cringed a bit on hearing this loud voice. One of these days he would give the person a good lesson on manners. Then again, I can't do that to my Ototo, thought Naruto happily. He slowly opened his innocent black eyes and saw the person who had disturbed his peaceful sleep. It was his younger brother Itachi Namikaze Uchiha. Itachi was a small 3-year-old boy. He had black spiky hair and blue eyes. His face was very similar to their father, though he looked like a chibi. "How many times have I told you not to shout?" asked Naruto kindly. He loved Itachi more than anyone in his family, even more than his mother. Itachi was his younger brother and was the joy of Naruto's life. Itachi pouted and crossed his arms over his small chest. Naruto smiled a little on the antics of his younger brother. He was always very cute. "You angry," mumbled Itachi with a pout. The 3-year-old was finding it difficult to speak more than a few words. Naruto chuckled and brought his little hand forward and poked Itachi on his forehead. "Sorry about that," said Naruto with a warm smile. "Hn," said Itachi with a proud look. Naruto raised an eyebrow at Itachi's unique behavior. Both of them stared at each other for a few minutes but then started laughing loudly. Naruto embraced Itachi in a warm brotherly hug. This was the way his day usually started. "Niken, Ka-chan," said Itachi, trying to convey the message. Naruto understood what his younger brother was trying to say. Makoto must have sent Itachi to wake him up while she prepared breakfast for the family. Their father would usually be reading the newspaper of the village. "All right, let me get ready," said Naruto and slowly got up from the bed. Itachi followed him as quickly as his little legs could take him. Naruto was a little intrigued. Usually after waking him up Itachi would run back to their mother, but today he was following him instead. Naruto narrowed his eyes at Itachi. He definitely needed something from him. "All right, what do you need? And don't lie," said Naruto strictly. Itachi just gave him a small sheepish smile and looked at him innocently. "Niken, I don't want," Foxy-chan requested Itachi and pointed his small finger at Naruto's shelf. There were a lot of toys there. A smile came on his face when he saw that fox. A 3-year-old Naruto was right now in a toy shop of Konoha. Makoto was holding him in her arms. It was his birthday and as such he wanted something. She was very eager to give her son a gift. Makoto was having a radiant smile on her face. She was quite happy when she saw the most biggest smile on her son's face while he was looking at the toys. Naruto was her life. She loved him the most in the world. It had been a few months since she had given birth to her younger son Itachi. As a result, she was not able to spend as much time with Naruto like before. It did pain her, but she knew Itachi needed her more right now. Surprisingly, Naruto was quite thoughtful and smart. He accepted Itachi happily. Makoto knew many children would be jealous of their younger sibling at this age. But Naruto was different. He always tried to help her. He would always be beside Itachi. He would always be the first to run to Itachi if he heard him crying. In a way, Makoto knew Naruto loved Itachi more than her. She was really proud of her elder son. "Ka-chan," said Naruto with a dreamy look in his eyes. "You can have anything you want, my Naruto-chan." "After all, today is my precious Sochi's birthday," said Makoto warmly and kissed Naruto on his cheek. "You will grow up to be a fine man, Naruto-sama," said the owner of the store. He was an old man, who had a flat wrinkled face. His hair were white but his eyes showed a lot more kindness. Naruto looked around the store. He was feeling a lot happy. He was spending time with his mother and he loved it. His eyes then settled on a toy. It was a small fox. It had black eyes and small ears. His body was brown-skinned. Naruto immediately loved the toy and quickly pointed his finger at the toy with an eager smile on his face. "You want that?" asked Makoto kindly. "HM," said Naruto enthusiastically. "Then you will have to do something for Ka-chan too," said Makoto with a smirk. "But," said Naruto innocently. "No buts, Naruto-chan," said Makoto playfully. Naruto pouted a little. Makoto and the owner of the store exchanged a knowing look. Naruto contemplated his choices. He really wanted that toy. After a few moments of thinking, he nodded. Makoto was giggling when she saw how thoughtful Naruto was. "All right, give Ka-chan a kiss and that toy is yours," said Makoto and laughed softly. A wide smile came on Naruto's face as he understood Makoto's message. He happily kissed his lovely mother on her cheek, earning a soft smile from her. Naruto loved her smile. It was one of the most beautiful things in the world for him. "Okay, now you can have it," said Makoto and paid the owner. The man gave a kind smile in return and handed the toy to Naruto. Words couldn't describe how happy the boy felt. "Ka-chan," said Naruto happily and hugged her lovingly. Makoto kindly patted her son's back. Her eyes were a little moist. She embraced her son lovingly. "I love you, my Naruto-chan." A warm smile came on Naruto's face as he remembered that memory. His mother was truly something else. She loved him and Itachi so much. Naruto couldn't understand how could she love them so much. Naruto then looked at Itachi. He was looking at him with such hopeful eyes. Itachi adored his big brother. He always was so kind and gentle to him, even though he put him in trouble sometimes. "Ni-chan, I want," Foxy-chan requested Itachi with an innocent smile. Naruto ruffled Itachi's hair lovingly and gave him a kind smile. "Why not? Whatever I have is yours as well," said Naruto warmly with a smile. "Ni-chan," yelled Itachi happily and hugged his big brother. "No matter what happens, I'll always love you," thought Naruto and hugged him back. "Now then, let me get ready," said Naruto calmly. "Okay," said Itachi and went to pick up his new toy. Minato Namikaze was sitting casually on his chair. It was just a regular morning like always. A lot of things were running through his mind. In these past 5 years a lot had changed. He had faced a lot of difficulty during his rule as a Hokage. Since Kushina's disappearance, Danzo and the counselors had started doubting him. They even went as far as to question his ability in front of the entire council. Minato still remembered that day. In a small room sat several people. The atmosphere was so much tense that practically everyone was nervous. They had a reason to be. These people were various clan heads and important military personnel of Konoha. On one side sat Danzo Shimura and his associates Hamura and Koharu. On the other side of the room sat several important clan heads like Hayashi Hyuga, Kagami Uchiha, Tsuminazuka, Shibi Aburame, Choza Kimichi, Inoichi Yamanaka and Shikaku Nara. In the center of the room sat Minato with the third Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi by his side. The Umbu commander was on his left flank with his mask on. "Is it true, Hokage-sama?" asked Shikaku neutrally. "Hokage, have we truly lost our Jinchuriki?" asked Danzo distastefully. His voice was almost filled with venom. "This youngster has jeopardized the village. I should have eliminated him long time ago," thought Danzo bitterly. Yes, it is true, Danzo. You will address me as Hokage-sama or Hokage-dano, or I would cut your head off this instant and feed it to the dogs," said Minato, and leaked so much ki that almost everyone couldn't breathe. The only one who were able to withstand such ki was Hiruzen. Even Danzo couldn't breathe properly. "My apologies, Hokage-sama," said Danzo without any emotion in his voice. "It won't be enough. Since we are in a crisis right now, I'm enforcing military rule and overriding a council," ordered Minato. Everyone in the room was quite shocked to hear this. Minato was the most strict Hokage after Tobirama Senju. After becoming Hokage, he had already removed the civilian council from all shinobi affairs. He had totally taken control over them. He next stripped Danzo of his root command. The shinobi of that Black Ops were then formally integrated with the regular Umbu forces. Danzo had been furious and had even tried to gather support, but Minato had publicly cut off his right arm for trying to defy his order. But Danzo was an important man, and since he publicly apologized for his crimes, he was spared and given a seat on the council as an advisor. However, everyone knew Danzo practically had no power now. This made the man furious, but he would wait to take further actions. Minato didn't also believe in the third Hokage's pacifist tendencies. He wanted peace in the shinobi world, but not at the cost of Konoha. Minato changed the entire shinobi system of Konoha. He formed various divisions of special forces, like the barrier teams, which were tasked with protecting the village and borders of Fire Country. The Umbu forces were almost doubled after the Third Shinobi War because of integration of root Umbu forces. Almost every Umbu was specialized in one art, like infiltration, recon, espionage, assassination, tactical and guerrilla warfare. Konoha suffered great casualties in the Third Great Ninja War. As a result, Minato started the medical corps under the supervision of his wife Makoto. She was tasked with training young kunoichi and shinobi in medical ninjutsu. Minato also created various commands like Communication Unit, Intel Unit, Supply Unit, and the Decipher Unit. The academy was also totally changed. All the kids were properly trained from the age of 6, their skills would be recognized and they would be given advanced training in their specific arts. Every genin team was properly balanced with a ninjutsu specialist, medic and a genjutsu taijutsu specialist. Genin teams were graduated early at the age of 8 and sent to boot camp for war training. Konoha had the largest and the most lethal military force in the entire shinobi world. All of this was possible was due to Minato's efforts. However, such achievements didn't come at a cost. Minato never spent time with his elder son Naruto. He wanted to be there for his son, but his duties as Hokage always got in the way. It was as if Naruto was born with a bad luck, because Minato was able to spend time with Itachi as he was born few years later and the village had stabilized and become powerful back again. Due to Kushina's loss, Minato had to make sure the other villages didn't get the information that Konoha didn't possess a Jinchuriki. He had practically made Jiraiya do all the work. He had tried to hide Kushina's disappearance for 4 years, but now he couldn't anymore. "How long has she been missing?" asked Hayashi Hyuga seriously. Minato looked at that man. The Hyuga clan had started acting a lot more suspicious since he married Makoto. They had even offered one of their finest brides to marry Minato, but Minato had curtly refused it. The Hyuga clan saw it as an insult, as the Uchiha had now more power in the council. Minato knew something was wrong and they were already on thin ice. The Hyuga was a very proud clan. One would say they had a stick up their ass. The Hyuga and the Uchiha always were bitter towards each other, and when Minato married Makoto they thought that the Uchihas had more power, but that was not true. Minato's main reason for marrying Makoto was because he loved her. Also due to this marriage, the isolation of the Uchiha clan, which had begun since the rule of Tobirama Senju, ended. Minato now allowed the Uchihas to join every forces of Konoha and gave them very good positions. By doing this, he earned the trust of the Uchiha clan. They now fully supported Minato. He had indeed stopped the Uchihas from doing something reckless, but the Hyuga were not taking it kindly. The Uchiha still handled the police force of Konoha but now also worked for the village. Due to this, Konoha's strength increased as the world's most powerful clan was back in their forces instead of maintaining just internal affairs. However, Minato didn't do any injustice to any other clan. All of them were equally important for the village, but the Hyuga wanted him to marry someone from their clan too, so that they could also gain some status, but Minato didn't want to marry someone whom he didn't love. He had explained it to Hayashi and he had begrudgingly agreed. However, Minato had assigned few squads of Umbu to watch the Hyuga clan, just in case. She has been missing for some time. The details are classified with only the Umbu commander and me. I have made every efforts to find her, but so far we have achieved no success, explained Minato briefly. What were her last whereabouts? Asked Inoichi Yamanaka curiously. She was assigned patrol duty in the northern sector of the village. She was to report at Umbu HQ after her patrol, but she never showed up, said Minato seriously. And the Umbu squad guarding her? Asked Sum suspiciously. They are all MIA, there is no trace of them. It's as if they have been wiped away from the face of the earth, said Minato irritatingly. It must have been Kumo. They had tried to abduct her in the past, said Choza angrily. We have not confirmed it yet. Jiraiya-sensei has been searching for her all over the nations, and so far he has not found involvement of any hidden village in this incident, explained Minato briefly. What should we do now, Okage-sama? Without our Jinchuriki we would be pretty vulnerable, despite Kushina-san's boisterous behavior. She was one of the most strongest Kanuchi of our village, rivaled only by Makoto-sama and Tsunade-sama. It could be she left the village on her own choice, said Shibi logically. Many council members shivered in fear. Kushina was not someone you would like as an enemy. She was the last Uzumaki and was powerful enough to keep the Kyuubi in control. Her ninja skills were Kage level. If she had turned against Konoha, then they would be in deep trouble, as she was the Jinchuriki of the strongest and the most fearsome Biju of the world. If the Kyuubi was unleashed, then... Minato sensed the fear in the people, and it was justifiable. He was also highly tensed. Jiraiya had reported that there were some fishy talks going between IWA and Kumo too. He knew IWA detested Konoha for their humiliating defeat in the Third Great Ninja War. Kumo definitely wanted the Byakugan, and the Sandaime Rakish would try to get it at any cost. Suna was recovering from their losses. Right now they were Konoha's allies, but Minato knew there was no such thing as alliance between hidden villages during the war. Kiri was in a civil war right now. A rebellion had been started against the Yondaime Mizukage. He was eliminating all the bloodline clans. Reports were saying he had gone mad, and was receiving support from Kumo on the condition that they would give him a bunch of the bloodline shinobi for their research. All in all, the world was in chaos, and was heading towards the Fourth Great Ninja War, even though no one could see it right now. Minato knew that within a year or two war would be at Konoha's doorsteps. Plus there had been news of a new organization called the Akatsuki. Right now they were being hired by IWA and were small-timers. But it only takes one spark to light a deadly fire that would burn down everything. Minato looked at all the members of the council. Only Shikaku, Hiruzen, Koharu, Hamura, and Shibi had the same look as him on their faces. They must at least have come to the conclusion that things were going to get worse from now on. But still Minato knew he had to be strong. He knew his people needed him. Even though Kushina was his best friend, he would do what was right as the fourth Hokage of the Leaf Village. Kushina Uzumaki is now labeled an S-rank missing nin. If any of you are to encounter her, she must be brought back to the village alive. We cannot lose the Kyuubi, instructed Minato strictly. Hai said all the members in unison. This information will not be put in the bingo book. Only you people are entitled with such sensitive information. If I find any of you have broken this rule, said Minato, and leaked so much ki that almost all the wooden desks in the room cracked. The elders were already on the verge of fainting. All the clan heads were sweating badly. Even Hiruzen, Danzo and the Umbu's commander's heartbeat had increased a lot. I will kill you as well as your entire clan, said Minato dangerously, with his fierce blue eyes sending a clear message to everyone in the room. No one messes with the fourth Hokage of Konoha. A tired sigh escaped from Minato's lips. His intuition was true. Things had indeed gone worse. IWA and Kumo had formed an alliance a few months back, with the aim of increasing border trades which will benefit both the villages. Border trade, my ass, thought Minato with a frown. They were strengthening their military, and were preparing for a war. What they wanted from such a futile war was pointless, but there was going to be a lot of bloodshed soon. Minato's azure eyes went up to a photo frame. A small smile came on his face. It was their family photo. He was standing in his Hokage robes, one of his arms was around Makoto's waist. She was wearing her jounin vest and black pants, she was holding Itachi in her arms. There was a wide smile on Itachi's small face, while Naruto stood between him and Makoto with a very faint smile on his face. Minato and Makoto both had one of their hands on his shoulders. Naruto was a very unique child, and Minato had known this from the very beginning. Naruto was a sensitive child, his sense of thinking was clearly more advanced than anyone his age. At the age of 4 his sense of thinking was on par with a teenager. Minato was very sad as he couldn't spend much time with him and he had started noticing the change in Naruto's behavior. When he was of Itachi's age he would always try to get Minato's attention, at times he would also demand to spend time with him. But due to Kushina's disappearance and the rising tension between the villages, Minato used to spend almost all the time at the office and increasing Konoha's military force in order to protect the village. Makoto did try to fill in his role but nothing could overcome the lack of a father in Naruto's life. Naruto gradually became very silent and started to talk less with him with each passing day. He was never disrespectful or showed any hatred towards Minato, he just was indifferent. It was as if he didn't care about Minato anymore. Minato was very proud of Naruto, he never blamed Itachi for Minato's mistakes, he cared about his mother and family. He was always the first to wish him on his birthday, though he only just said happy birthday and went off, but that was enough for Minato. It showed that there was still hope and he could still get his elder son back. He was interrupted from his thoughts when he felt a pair of soft hands encircle him from his back. He knew who this person was. "If you worry so much, you'll grow old soon," said Makoto softly. "Nah, I'll never grow old. I'm still the most handsome man in this village," said Minato jovially. "Getting cocky are we?" asked Makoto with an amused tone. Minato just gave another tired sigh. He gave Makoto a signal to sit. She slowly came around and sat in a chair beside him and put her hands on his hands. "What's troubling you?" asked Makoto worriedly. "Naruto," said Minato sadly. "Did he do something?" asked Makoto curiously. "No, he didn't do anything." "You know what I mean," said Minato tiredly. Makoto gave a nod, she understood what he was thinking. The relationship between her husband and elder son was strained to say in the least. Both of them were right in their own perspective. Minato couldn't spend time with Naruto as many things were happening and he had to look after the village more. She was heartbroken when Kushina had gone missing, a part of her blamed herself for Kushina's fate but another part of her wanted her to be strong for her 2 lovely sons. Naruto was disheartened all these years as Minato was never there, Minato couldn't even spend more time with her too. But since the village had become stable again and things were looking good in the shinobi world for a while, Minato was now spending more time with the family and Itachi. She knew Naruto didn't hate his father, it was far from it. He was just disappointed in Minato. Most of all, her elder son had a very mysterious personality. He didn't care much about making friends, he just liked to spend more time with his family. He was usually very quiet and only spoke when necessary. As his father, you think I would understand him, but I clearly don't know how I can get him back. He probably hates me, said Minato sadly. That's not true, Minato-kun, he just isn't sure about his feelings. Even though he is smart, he is still a kid. Kids are like that at this age, explained Makoto with a smile. I am really proud of him, Makoto-chan. I'm really happy that Naruto and Itachi get along with each other, said Minato proudly. He loves his younger brother more than us, said Makoto warmly. I am not going to give up, I will help my son in every way possible and make up for my lack of presence in his life for all these years, said Minato with determination. Now that's my Minato. I'll help you too, said Makoto with a smile. Minato leaned forward and kissed Makoto softly on her lips. She kissed him back more lovingly. What would I ever do without you? Asked Minato softly. They were interrupted from their little romance when they heard two voices. I told you not to jump, Baka. Now you're hurt, came Naruto's irritated voice. Makoto immediately got worried and got up to rush to the stairs from where the voice was coming. However, Minato stopped her. She looked at him harshly, but he just told her to sit down and watch. But Niken, I wanted you to see how much high I can jump on your bed, came Itachi's cute voice. You were lucky you just fell on the bed. What would have happened if you fell on the ground? Asked Naruto sternly. Sorry, said Itachi silently. Both Naruto and Itachi entered the kitchen and were quite surprised when they saw both of their parents were sitting together and were watching them. Itachi was sitting on Naruto's back and had his legs wrapped around Naruto's waist. Minato gave a smile and returned to his sons, while Makoto was a little worried and immediately came towards them. What happened? Asked Makoto worriedly and knelt in front of her sons. Naruto put Itachi down and Makoto noticed he had a sore ankle. She gave him a very stern glare. Itachi-kun, what have I told you? Asked Makoto strictly. To not jump, said Itachi sheepishly. Makoto just sighed on her younger son's antics. He really was a handful and always got himself in trouble. He was the exact opposite of his older brother. Let's get you healed, said Makoto softly and picked up Itachi and went towards the medicine shelf. Naruto just had an amused smile on his face. He then noticed Minato looking at him. Naruto, come here. Spend some time with me, said Minato happily. Naruto's eyebrows twitched a bit when he heard those words. All those times he asked his father to spend time with him and he had refused, saying he was busy. And now after 3 years his father finally got some time for him. But still this was his father and he just decided to obey him and be done with it. He didn't hate his father, but still it pained him every time he remembered the past. He silently went and sat beside Minato. Moments passed, but he didn't utter a word. It was as if there was nothing to say. Minato noticed his son's feelings. Naruto now just called him Tusama and not Tuchan. I will not back down, thought Minato firmly. Naruto, said Minato hesitantly. Both father and son rarely talked with each other, and this was a rare time when they both were alone. Either Itachi or Makoto were always around whenever they were near each other. Yes, Tusama, said Naruto neutrally. Minato's heart broke a little when he heard his voice and those words. He really had pushed away his elder son. The village was safe for now, but things had went downhill with him and Naruto. He wanted to know his son, his likes, his dislikes, his dreams and ambitions. What is your dream, Naruto? Asked Minato kindly with a smile. Naruto just wanted to say he didn't have one and end the talk, but somehow a part of him wanted to say something. He looked at his father briefly for a few moments. The man definitely wanted to talk with him. Damn my kind heart, thought Naruto frustratingly. I only want to protect my brother, that's all, said Naruto silently. His voice had a little doubt in it. It was as if he didn't consider himself strong enough. That's a noble dream you have there, son. I'm really proud of you, said Minato proudly. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise when he heard his father was proud of him. A part of his heart was jumping in joy. His father was proud of him. Minato sensed Naruto's surprise. He gave him a kind smile and patted his head. Naruto, I know I was not there for you for quite some time, but I really love you. You are my first child. My duties as a Hokage got in the way, but I really want to spend time with you. Can you at least give me one chance? Requested Minato kindly with a smile. Naruto looked at his father sadly. He didn't know how much Minato had hurted him. A part of him just wanted to say fuck off and be done with it, but he really wanted to spend time with his father. I can't just treat him like this. Maybe he really wants to spend time with me? Maybe he does love me too, like Itachi? Maybe I'm not just a disappointment to him, thought Naruto curiously. He then immediately disposed off such thoughts. He knew his father must be doing this out of pity, and Naruto never wanted anyone's pity. You don't have to do this, Tusama. I know you must have more important work to do rather than spend time with me, said Naruto sadly. Minato looked at his son sadly. He knew he had to let his son speak freely. You probably hate me, huh? Asked Minato calmly. His voice had an understanding tone in it. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise. He didn't mean it that way. I don't hate you too, Sama, but, said Naruto hesitantly. Minato put a hand on his son's shoulders in order to give him some comfort. Naruto looked at him for a moment. He had to tell his father the truth. Telling lies wouldn't do good for any of them. Speak freely, said Minato kindly with a smile. It's just I cannot forget the past. You were never there for me. I wanted to spend time with you so many times, but you always said you were busy. I know you are the Hokage. I don't hate you, but, said Naruto hesitantly. Minato understood what his son was feeling. He didn't blame Naruto for a bit. He knew what he might hear now would break his heart, but he had to endure this as he had caused his son so much pain. I just don't care about you anymore, said Naruto sadly. Naruto then got up from the table and silently walked away from the room, leaving behind a broken and wide-eyed Minato. A lone tear slipped from Minato's eyes. He really was feeling very sorry for causing his son so much pain. He knew Naruto wouldn't say such a thing if someone had not pushed him up to his limit. What am I supposed to do? Chapter 4. A Mother's Love. Naruto sat alone in the small training ground of his house. It wasn't very big, just a small terrain which included a small lake. There were lots of trees around with training dummies. It must probably be for target practice. He had seen his mother practice with her shurikenjutsu many times. His father also sometimes trained here. His thoughts then drifted back to the talk which he had with his father. He didn't hate his father, he still cared about him, but it was just too painful for him to bond with him again. He only wanted to spend time with his father. He always heard people say how great his father was, but in reality he didn't know the man much as he was almost never there in his life. Naruto was trying to understand that his father was trying to make his way back into his family, but he wasn't too comfortable with having his father around, after spending almost 3 years without him. He thought about his dream of protecting his younger brother at any cost. In truth, he knew he was weak. He was not a shinobi like his father and mother. He knew if something ever happened then he wouldn't be able to protect Itachi. Should he become a shinobi? What purpose would he have besides protecting Itachi? He was interrupted from his thoughts when someone hugged him lovingly from the back. The hands of that person was soft and the aura that was radiating off that person made Naruto very comfortable and at peace. There was only one person in the entire world who could make him feel like this. Ka-chan, said Naruto warmly. He went to turn around to face his mother, but she restricted his movements and hugged him more tightly. Naruto got a little confused. Shoo! Just stay with me like this, said Makoto lovingly. A contented smile came on Naruto's face. He felt happy. All those doubts, negative feelings he was having were slowly fading away with each passing moment. It was as if his mother was taking away all his pain and filling him with her love. He slowly rested his head gently on his mother's chest and put his hands on her soft hands. It was evening and the sun was setting. The entire scene was just beautiful for Naruto. He didn't know what he would do without his mother. For him she was perfect. She was kind, caring, gentle and even strict when necessary. She always took care of all of them, gave them healthy food, looked after their health, became worried when they were injured. She was the center of the family and all their lives revolved around her. Naruto didn't know if he loved his brother more or his mother. Both of them were precious to him. Meanwhile, Makoto was gently caressing her son's blonde hair. She had heard the entire conversation between Minato and Naruto. Even though she was busy healing Itachi's sore ankle, her entire focus was on Naruto's talk with Minato. She was very upset with the fact that things had gotten this worse between her husband and elder son. She knew Naruto was not to blame for any of this. Any child of his age would behave like this. Also, her son was a logical person. So she knew he wouldn't forgive Minato just like that. She felt very sad on thinking about how much pain her son was in. Hey Ka-chan, said Naruto slowly. Makoto was interrupted from her train of thoughts. She looked at Naruto curiously. I didn't sense your presence when you arrived, said Naruto in confusion. What do you mean? Asked Makoto curiously. I can always feel people's presence when they are around me, explained Naruto simply. A sensor, thought Makoto surprisingly. Naruto-chan, try to concentrate now and tell me what do you feel, asked Makoto softly. She was pretty much sure her son had a very unique ability. Sensor ninja were very rare and were extremely useful in the village armies. They could work in recon units, communication units, not to mention in full combat squads. Sensors were one of the most unique and deadly ninja as they could predict an attack before it is launched. Naruto gave an affirmative nod and closed his eyes. He then slowly tried to concentrate in order to feel what was around him. At first nothing happened for a few moments, his eyebrows twitched a bit when he was not met with success. One more time, thought Naruto with determination. This time he gave his utmost concentration, still he couldn't feel anything around him. It's not working, Ka-chan, said Naruto sadly. Oka said Makoto gently but was cut off when Naruto raised his voice. Wait, I feel something, said Naruto surprisingly. What is it? Asked Makoto curiously. She was very eager to know whether her son had abilities of a sensor or not. I feel your presence, it's so warm and calm, said Naruto calmly. He can even feel what I'm feeling right now, thought a shocked Makoto. It was indeed true that she was not concealing her chakra. If she did that, she was pretty much sure Naruto would not be able to sense her presence. Also, she was right beside him, so it would be very easy to recognize her presence. I can feel Itachi's presence in the house, but there is something that is very confusing, Ka-chan, said Naruto with a frown. What's the problem? Asked Makoto intriguingly. I can feel some people outside our house, but their presence is barely visible. They were there just for a moment but I lost their presence, said Naruto curiously. He can even feel the Umbu guarding our house. It's amazing, even if it was just for a moment it was truly something worthy of praise. He must have sent a strong wave of his chakra unconsciously. It must have been pretty strong, but since it was short he lost the Umbu, thought Makoto tactically. Well, Ka-chan, do you know why I'm able to feel such things? Asked Naruto innocently. It's because you are very special, my Naruto-chan. You are a sensor, explained Makoto with a proud smile. Sensor? Asked Naruto confusedly. They are special people who can feel other people's presence around them. There are very few sensors in the world. The fact that you are one makes me very proud, explained Makoto with a wide smile. Naruto blushed a little in embarrassment. Makoto giggled on seeing this and ruffled her son's hair lovingly. Suddenly a question came in Naruto's mind and he decided to ask his mother about it. Then why was I not able to feel your presence? Asked Naruto curiously. Maybe it's because you were not concentrating, and I'm a shinobi so I can hide my presence very well, said Makoto with a smirk. That's not fair, said Naruto with a cute pout. Is that so? Asked Makoto with a devious smile on her face. She started tickling her son's chest, earning loud laughter from him. Ha ha ha, Ka-chan, please stop, said Naruto in between laughs. He was feeling very happy. Makoto sensed her son was now comfortable with her and she decided to ask him about his talk with Minato and if possible try to explain him to understand his father and his duties as a Hokage. Naruto-chan, do you really don't like your two-chan? Asked Makoto sadly. Naruto sensed the sadness in her voice, but there was no disappointment in her words. He dropped his head in shame. He never wanted to make his mother sad, and now that he had done it, he was quite ashamed of himself. I'm sorry, said Naruto apologetically. A few tears had already started to form in his eyes. Naruto-chan, let it out, said Makoto gently and hugged him tightly. Ka-chan, said Naruto in a choked voice. Tears had already started to drop from his eyes. I'm always going to be there for you. I love you very much and you can be yourself around your Ka-chan. Just cry your pain, I know, said Makoto in a similar choked voice. She was rubbing Naruto's back affectionately in order to comfort him. Those words were the final nail in the coffin and Naruto couldn't control the dam of tears that had formed in his eyes. All the pain and sadness he felt for all these years due to his father's absence finally took a toll on him. He hugged his mother so tightly that some crease had started to form on her dress, but she didn't back out. She hugged him back even more fiercely while whispering comforting words in his ears and rubbing his back simultaneously. He was really thankful to whatsoever God for giving him such a loving mother. She was his world, the only person who understood him completely, and no matter what happened was always there for him. No matter how much mischief he did when he was his brother's age, no matter how much pain it caused her on seeing his dislike for his father, she never abandoned him. She never lost hope in him, and Naruto couldn't understand how could she love him so much. He never did anything significant for her, and yet she loved him immensely. Naruto's emotional outbursts continued for a few minutes until it was reduced to small sobs. Makoto gently wiped the tears on his face and gave him a gentle kiss on his forehead. "I'm sorry for making you sad, Ka-chan." "I'm not a good son," said Naruto in an ashamed voice. He was quite surprised when his mother gently lifted his chin so he could look her straight in the eyes. Naruto was quite shocked on seeing the fierce look in her eyes. "You are the type of son who every mother wants. You are kind, gentle, caring, you always look after your little brother. Always try to help me, and even though things between your two chan and you have gotten a little rough, I never blame you for it," said Makoto firmly. "What?" asked the shocked Naruto. He expected his mother to blame him but was quite surprised when she said the opposite. "Yes, I do not blame you, and neither do I blame your father. Both of you are right in your own perspective. You only wanted to spend time with your father while Minato wanted to do the same," said Makoto, seriously shocking Naruto to the core. "This can't be true, Ka-chan. He was never there for me," said Naruto loudly. His voice contained a little venom in it. Makoto did not lose her calm and decided to explain the truth to her son. She knew even after this, Naruto wouldn't forgive his father immediately. It will take time, but she had to take the first step. "Naruto-chan, your father has to protect the village as Hokage. Things have gotten a little bad in the last few years and your father is highly tensed. He still regrets not spending time with you, but just as you are our child, he has to look after all the other children's safety like yours. That is duty as a leader of this village," explained Makoto briefly. Some things started making sense in Naruto's mind. Now he could understand why his father did that, but that didn't change the fact that he was still disappointed in him. "Does that mean I am not important to him? Will he still put others before me? Will I always be a second choice to him in comparison to the villagers?" asked Naruto sadly. Makoto gave a tired sigh. Naruto was really stubborn in his beliefs. It was as if he was testing her patience. "No, you are as important to him as all of us. Do you know it was your father who gave you your name?" said Makoto with a smirk. She really knew how to handle a situation. Her years at the hospital and treating different people made her understand people better. "Really?" asked the surprised Naruto. "Hi, he was very happy the day you were born. He even cried tears of joy when he took you in his arms for the first time. He was so excited to teach you everything he knew and wanted to be the best father in the world," said Makoto with a gentle smile as she remembered that night. Naruto could now understand a little. He really was surprised that his father was happy to have him. "Maybe I'm wrong, maybe he really loves me as much as Itachi. Maybe I should give him a chance," thought Naruto slowly. Makoto could read what her son was thinking from the look on his face. A small smirk came on her face as she realized that her first step in improving the relation between her son and her husband was met with a little success. "You should give your father a chance, Naruto-chan. He really wants to come back in the family. He really loves you and wants to spend time with you and make up for all the times he wasn't there," explained Makoto briefly. "I'll try," Ka-chan said Naruto hesitantly. He really wanted to believe in each and every word his mother had said. But instead of rushing in on blind faith, he would take his time and see if his father really wants to be there for him. "Now that's my Naruto-chan. I'm really proud of you. Take your time and try to gather your feelings slowly," said Makoto with a vibrant smile on her face. "Hi," said Naruto slowly. Makoto sensed Naruto's uncomfortable behavior and decided to change the topic. "Naruto-chan, do you want to become a shinobi?" asked Makoto seriously. "I just want to protect my brother," said Naruto slowly. Makoto smiled again on hearing those words again. She really felt very happy that her two boys were so close to each other. But what about the people of this village? Asked Makoto seriously. She knew she had to guide her son on the right path if he wanted to be a shinobi. Protecting Itachi was a noble dream, but Naruto was the elder son and heir of the Namikaze clan. The villagers had great expectations from him, and some even thought that her son could become the next Hokage. Huh? Asked Naruto curiously. He had never thought about that. Makoto took a deep breath in order to explain it to Naruto in detail. Naruchan, protecting your little brother is a noble dream, but shinobi are always entrusted with the safety of this village and the people live in it. You are the son of the Hokage and the heir to our clan. The villagers and shinobi have high expectations from you, explained Makoto briefly. But I don't know if I can live up to their expectations. Why is it necessary for me to protect the people of this village? Asked Naruto curiously. That's because we are one big family, we take care of each other. Your father looks after the entire village and protects it. Your grandfather and uncle take care of the Uchiha clan and also protect the village from its enemies. I am a shinobi too, and I am ready to protect the village and my family at all costs because you all are precious to me, explained Makoto with a smile. I understand, said Naruto calmly. Don't worry, Naruchan, there is nothing you should be afraid of. I think it is a good thing that you are trying to become a shinobi. It shows that you understand that to be a ninja you have to start right at the bottom and work your way up and protect your precious people, said Makoto calmly. Really? He asked with her nodding. If you like I can go over it with you and teach you how to access your chakra, she said, making him get a hopeful look on his face. Really, you would do that? Don't you have other things you need to do today? Asked Naruto curiously. I don't have a shift at the hospital today, and it is either help you or get bored sitting at home. And how could I ever not want to help my little Naruchan? Said Makoto with a playful smile. She picked Naruto up from his spot and put him in her lap as she leaned against a nearby tree. Are you ready? Asked Makoto seriously. Hi, said Naruto enthusiastically. Now I'll first explain what is chakra, okay? Asked Makoto, and Naruto nodded. Chakra is the mixture between spiritual energy and the body's physical energy. It is essential to every jutsu technique that has and ever will be created. Once molded, it can be channeled through the chakra circulatory system, which is to chakra as the regular circulatory system is to blood, to any of the 361 chakra points in the body. Through various methods, the most common of which is hand seals, explained Makoto briefly. Does everyone possess chakra, Ka-chan? Asked Naruto curiously. Yes, every human being possesses chakra, though only a few are able to use it, said Makoto. What is jutsu, Ka-chan? Asked Naruto intriguingly. Makoto smiled a little when she saw how curious her son was. Most kids his age would be bored on hearing so much theory, but her son was different. Jutsu are the mystical arts a ninja will utilize in battle. To use a technique, the ninja will need to use their chakra. To perform a technique, the ninja will bring out and release the two energies of chakra. By forming hand seals, the ninja is able to manifest the desired technique. Because of the extensive number of hand seals in different combinations, there are thousands of potential techniques to be discovered, explained Makoto in detail, and Naruto nodded. So what are hand seals? He asked curiously. Hand seals perform many ninjutsu, genjutsu, and other secret arts other than taijutsu. The exact amount of chakra necessary to perform a simple technique is manipulated through hand seals. This will vary between the simplest of jutsus to the most dynamic and most powerful, explained Makoto calmly. The hand seals are bird, boar, dog, dragon, ox, tiger, serpent, rat, horse, monkey, hare and ram, continued Makoto, and performed every one of the hand signs. She was shocked when her little son performed each and every hand seal perfectly in the first try. His speed was slow, but she was amazed by his sense of observation. It was common for a shinobi to learn hand seals quickly, but Naruto was a kid and he had indeed surprised her. Wow, Naruchan, you performed each hand seal perfectly. How did you do it? Asked the surprised Makoto, but her voice was indeed full of pride. I just saw you perform them, Ka-chan. They are very easy, said Naruto sheepishly. But still I'm very proud of you, said Makoto warmly. Thank you, Ka-chan, said Naruto with a wide smile. The two sat there for about an hour as Makoto explained about chakra to Naruto in very detail. She wanted him to understand the science completely and was trying to explain it to him in the simplest way. She also made sure he was aware of what made up chakra and how many chakra points there are in the body, even pointing to the places where certain ones were on her arms. Do you understand, Naruto? She asked him as he sat there on her lap and saw him nod. Can we try to see if I can use my chakra? He asked since he looked a little eager to begin. Sure, Makoto said warmly as Naruto hopped out of her lap and sat in front of her. Get in a meditative pose like I am doing, instructed Makoto and sat in the position. Naruto watched and tried himself, though Makoto had to help him a little since his legs were still so little. You comfortable? She asked, and with Naruto nodding his head, she decided to continue further. Okay, Naruto-chan, first I want you to make this hand sign. This is the Ram hand sign. Using any one of the hand signs will help to bring out your chakra and bring it to the surface. The Ram hand sign is the one most used when starting out to first draw their chakra, explained Makoto briefly and performed the hand sign. Like this? Asked Naruto curiously and performed the hand seal perfectly which Makoto was showing him. Now to draw your chakra you have to dig deep inside and try to draw it out. Search deep down and wait until you feel a warm sensation in your stomach. When you feel it, try to focus in on it and then pull it out to the surface. I will demonstrate, said Makoto seriously. Naruto watched as his mother closed her eyes, taking a few deep breaths before exhaling. After about 10 seconds Naruto felt a strong burst of energy come from his mother which surprised him immensely. He could feel how warm it was, and though it was nowhere near as big as his father, but he felt it flowing smoothly from her. He observed attentively for a few moments and was able to see a blue-like aura appearing around her. Was that chakra, Ka-chan, the blue thing around you? Asked Naruto excitedly. He really wanted to do the exercise after watching his mother. She opened her eyes and Naruto could see the blue aura had now disappeared. Makoto smiled when she saw her son's excited face. It was. Try to extract enough chakra, then it can become visible around you and will be a light blue color, explained Makoto happily. Now it is my turn, said Naruto happily, and his mother nodded softly. Though don't be sad if you don't manage to do it, Naruto-chan. It takes time to activate your chakra for the first time, advised Makoto sagely. Okay, but I will try my best, said Naruto with determination. Makoto smiled and settled for watching her son access his chakra for the first time. It was a really nostalgic moment for her, and her eyes became a little moist as she realized her little boy was now growing up. She watched as Naruto closed his eyes and took deep breaths similar to what she did. Even the Umbu that were guarding their house were a little curious on seeing the Hokage's son's performance. Though that did not mean they were not focused on their job. A few minutes passed and Naruto opened his eyes with a sad look on his face. I couldn't find it. I did not feel that warm feeling in my tummy, said Naruto disappointingly. That's okay, Naruto-chan. I did say you might not be able to do it the first time around. It takes a few tries to first do it. You just have to keep trying and eventually it will happen, said Makoto encouragingly. Okay, I guess I can try again, he said as he got back in his meditative pose and made the Ram hand sign again. He closed his eyes and took a few more deep breaths. Makoto watched her son try again. She didn't know why, but she had a feeling that her son would be successful this time. Maybe it was a mother's intuition. I have to find a pull in my tummy, thought Naruto firmly, and searched around in his body while keeping as calm as he could. After another minute he still could not feel it, so he gritted his teeth a little in frustration. I need to unlock my chakra so I can protect Ka-chan, Itachi, and maybe someday even Tusama, thought Naruto determinedly. Just when he finished he felt a pull in his stomach and felt a warm sensation appear there. Could this be my chakra? Thought Naruto curiously and started doing as Makoto had said and focused more on the warm sensation and started pulling it to the surface. When he did, it felt like his whole body suddenly became warm and felt his fingers and his toes tingle. Outside, Makoto smiled a big smile when she saw a tiny blue aura appear around her son. She was about to go forward and hug him. She wanted to congratulate him for activating his chakra for the first time, but was a little caught off guard when she felt the power of his chakra. His chakra, it's so much powerful. Though it is very small, but it is stronger than my own, thought an amazed Makoto. Though she also felt how untamed it felt. Once Naruto got used to activating his chakra, she would most likely have to show him one of the basic chakra control exercises. Even the Umbu guarding the house were amazed by the power of Naruto's chakra. It was growing more powerful with each passing second. Makoto decided it was enough now, as Naruto would be very tired by now and she did not want him to overdo it. Makoto shook Naruto a little, which made him lose focus, and the chakra he was emitting stopped. He opened his eyes to his mother looking at him with joyful looks on their face, which made him smile a big smile. "I did it," said Naruto happily and jumped high in the air. Makoto was quite surprised that Naruto even had this much energy left. However, her suspicion proved correct when her son suddenly felt tired and his body got a little stiff and he started to fall towards ground. However, Makoto was in front of him in an instant and caught him in a warm embrace. There were a few tears in her eyes. These were not tears of sadness but of joy and pride. "Why do I feel sleepy?" asked Naruto innocently as he yawned in Makoto's arms. "Silly Naruto-chan, you pushed out a lot of chakra when you activated it, which has now left you feeling tired. Don't worry, after some rest and some food in your tummy you will be fine," said Makoto happily. Naruto just gave a very small nod. He really felt a lot tired than before. "I think this is enough for the day. Let's go home. I'll make ramen for you," said Makoto happily and picked up Naruto. He wrapped his small legs around her waist and nuzzled his head against her chest, with her long bangs falling on his face and covering his face a little under their shadow. "Really?" asked Naruto sleepily. He really loved when his mother made his favorite dish. She was indeed a very great cook. "Hi," said Makoto warmly. They started walking back towards the house at a slow pace. It was indeed a very tiring day for Naruto. Halfway there, Naruto spoke up. "Hey, Ka-chan." "Yes, Naru-chan," asked Makoto softly. "What kind of a ninja are you?" he asked, surprising her a little, though she answered. "Well, I am a medic nin. I practice medical ninjutsu, which is why I work mainly at the hospital," said Makoto happily. "Medical ninjutsu? What's that?" asked Naruto curiously, making his mother giggle a little as she noticed how curious he was even when he was very tired. "Medical ninjutsu is a type of ninjutsu that is used to heal people when they get hurt," explained Makoto in simple words so her son could understand easily. "Like when people are sick and not feeling good?" asked Naruto curiously. "Exactly. I am okay at fighting, but I prefer healing people, which is why I am the head of the hospital and our village's medical department. I train shinobi to become medics," explained Makoto briefly. "Wow, you are really amazing, Ka-chan," said Naruto happily. "Thank you, my dear Naru-chan," said Makoto with a smile. "So does that mean you are really powerful too?" he asked, making her smile again. "I am nowhere near as powerful as your father, but I like to think that I am capable of looking after myself. I am a Jounin level ninja, so I know how to defend myself, which is the main thing." Said Naruto with a nod. Both mother and son reached the door of their house. Naruto could feel sleep trying to overtake him, and he knew he could resist now. He was at his limit. He pressed his head tightly against his mother's chest and closed his eyes. A small innocent smile came on his face. Makoto gently looked at her son. He looks so adorable, thought Makoto happily. Naruto gently grabbed her silky bangs that were falling on his face. "Ka-chan, you really have beautiful hair," said Naruto sleepily. A wide smile came on Makoto's face when she heard her son praising her hair. She gently ruffled Naruto's hair and gave him a small kiss on his cheek. "Thank you, Naruto-chan," said Makoto lovingly. "I love you, Ka-chan," said Naruto warmly, and slowly sleep overtook him. "I love you too, my little Naruto-chan," said Makoto warmly. She really loved her son the most in the world. She knew she was the bridge that was holding their family together and live peacefully. She was determined to be the best mother, best wife, best friend, and best guide for her sons and husband. "I'll make things better. I promise," thought Makoto with determination.
That's everything for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe.